What's up, guys? This is Rob at Black Hill Woodwork. In today's video, we're going to be turning something from this huge graveyard of firewood. Not exactly sure what I'm going to be picking. Most of this stuff is not really cut for wood turning, but there's so much of it that I'm sure I'll find something unique. I guess it's time to start digging. I'll go over here, look around, and catch you guys in a second when I find something cool. And we're back. This is the lucky log that I chose. It's gonna be a nice crotch bowl with some nice grain in the middle, I hope. I believe it is oak. I didn't have to go too far to find it. It's sitting right here, and definitely saved me some time from digging through all of this. So we'll go back to the garage, put it on the lathe, and I guess we'll start turning in a little bit.
All right, guys, so we're back in the garage. First step, cut this thing in half. You could go a little bit to the right or to the left of the pith if you want to make sure, you know, that pith is out of your bowl so it doesn't crack. But in my case, I'm just going to be going straight through the middle, right through both piths. And I'll be cutting away that pith on the lathe anyway, so not too worried about that.
All right, guys, cut it in half. This is what it's looking like. I do not think this is oak anymore. I'm leaning more on the side of maple. Not a very good guess because I'm not sure at all. But for some reason, this reminds me of some maple. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But now it's time to choose which one we're going to be using. And I was looking at them for a while. Obviously, they both look pretty similar. I mean, they're from the same log. But I think I'm going to go for this one. It has a little bit more spalting on it. This one has some right here, but a little bit more on this one. But some interesting grain. The splitting of the two branches, you know, that's why it's called a crotch bowl. The grain right here in the middle is super nice. So let's get this thing on the bandsaw, which it is already on. And let's make ourselves a bowl blank. Before we start cutting away, you want to get your template. Just made this out of some cardboard. Really good for the bandsaw and cutting up bowl blanks. So I do recommend making these. Super easy, and they work very well. So it's on just like that. Don't want to go too deep because I don't want a hole through my bowl, but that'll keep it in place. Now, let's make our bowl blank. So here it is, looks good. We're just gonna be going for a regular bowl. I just wanna see what this grain looks like, and I'm sure it's gonna be nice. As you guys could tell, the crotch bowl has some really curly grain in the middle. Nice spalting. Usually when people turn crotch bowls, they do live edge just because it has a pretty cool look, I guess, with the two branches coming out. But not today. We're going to be doing a regular bowl. And yeah, so let's put on the lathe in between centers and start turning. So we got it attached to the lathe, but before I start, I'm just going to knock off some of this bark because I already know it's just going to come flying at me when I start turning. So we're going to start at 400 RPMs just because it's not completely balanced. We're just going to make that curve, get enough material for a tenon, and just shape this bowl. After a while, I'm probably going to put up the speed, but usually with a bowl this unbalanced, you should start at a lower speed. So let's get started. I'm going to turn up the speed just a little bit. Now we're going at 800 RPMs. Okay, here it is. Got some more turning to do. Some interesting grain in here. For sure not oak. Definitely leaning towards maple. But yeah, not much else to say. Let me readjust this, get a little closer, and we'll keep on turning. Okay, here it is. I don't want to take too much more material from the rim. I don't want to make it a lot smaller than it already is. So I'm thinking I'm going to make some kind of design where it goes in and then out and then back out. That makes sense. So a curve like this, then like that. It'll add some style to the bowl too. A little bit more unique, but yeah guys, I don't know, that's just what I'm thinking right now. Hopefully it's not a bad choice, but guess we'll see. All right, I know it looks weird. It actually looks really weird, but that's just because the rim is not even whatsoever. That's my fault. When I put it on the lathe, I should have made sure it was a little bit more balanced, but there's not much we could do now about that. So let me cut up the rim, make it flat on the top, and then see if we like the overall shape or not. Okay, so I still don't really know exactly what I'm gonna do for sure. I'm gonna get not completely rid of this middle part, but I'm gonna cut it down a lot. Maybe make it more of a curve right here and a curve outside. I don't really know. I'm just gonna start turning and let's see what I come up with. Okay, I'm just gonna go with it. This is the shape we're going for. Let's make this tenon. I'm gonna have to cut down that tenon a lot just because of this bark right here. But we'll figure it out. Make the tenon, flip it around, and we can start hollowing. Alright guys, so here's the bowl. We're going to be using tail support just because my tenon is a little bit punky. Don't want to risk anything flying off. So this is a little bit of a backup, I guess. We're going to be going at 800 RPMs. Not a very deep bowl, so shouldn't take too long. here it is. That grain is pretty cool. I think it'll look a lot cooler with some finish on it. So sand, 80 to 400 grit, some Yorkshire grit, and then we can put some finish on. So here we are after sanding to 400 grit. Man, this grain is about to look crazy. Time for some Yorkshire grit. This is the micro fine. I'll be using this black abrasive pad. I'm just gonna cover this whole thing up and then buff it all off. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. You guys can see the grain right here in the middle of the two branches. Some spalting. You guys can't see the outside right now, but the outside is just as cool in my opinion. So now let's put some tried and true on and see what it looks like. So here's what it looks like with that finish on. Man, I love this thing. I just love the grain of it. It's so cool. So now I'm just going to take it off the chuck, sand the bottom, you know, go through all the grits and finishing processes that I just did, the Yorkshire grit and the tried and true. Then I'll show you guys the final results. But if you guys stayed this far into the video, thank you. I appreciate it. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for future videos. All that stuff. Man, that is a mouthful every time I say it. Thanks again, guys. See you in the next one, and peace.